Welcome back to Yogaxpress, your virtual stretch clinic that helps you move the body to still the mind. My name is Banu Suresh. I'm your host for this program. Today we have Susan Rasmussen back to give us a few more of her wonderful tips about what happens when we stretch, because every time we stretch, we're also strengthening. Isn't that right, Susan?
Correct.
Susan Rasmussen, before I reintroduce our other guests, today I'm going to introduce Susan one more time in the beginning. Susan, and the reason is a little selfish reason too. Susan, I was very curious when you explained to us in the last episode, you were talking about certain muscle groups, and the tips that you gave yesterday really helped clarify a lot of confusion in my mind anyway. I'm sure Sarah would also agree. Sometimes we refer to different muscle groups, not by names. I just say the inside of the upper right thigh, the outside of the thigh. I always thought that the inside, when we do the stretch, when we take our leg out to the back, that we are stretching. I thought this part was called the abductors. No, the adductors.
No, abductors is away from the body. Okay,
Right.
AB, away from the body.
Away from the body. Is that on the
Adductors.
what about the outside?
They're the adductors.
Those are the
ADD.
adductors. Okay, because I always thought, and I needed to.
I'm sorry,
clarify
I
this.
did say that wrong.
So
The
I thought it was
abductors take
on
your
the
leg away
outside.
from the body. Your adductors take them into the body. My mistake.
So okay, no.
So these
because
are your
it's all names.
these
Those
are your
the ad-
abductors. They pull
Abductors.
these muscles take your leg away from the center of
Okay,
your body.
wow, look at that.
The adductors
Okay.
bring your leg back to the center of your body.
That's one. What about the shoulder? You mentioned this name, and I never knew the names, but you use a lot of names, and I want to know. I'd love to know the names of the different muscle groups. In the shoulders, you talked about the rhomboids. Can you help me understand?
The rhomboids are in between the back, your shoulder blades.
Okay.
If you pull your shoulder blades together and squeeze my fingers, you're
okay.
using your rhomboids.
Right.
So these two bones here are your scapular. Now you pull that
okay.
back, pull the scapula back, and you're squeezing my fingertips
Okay.
by using your rhomboids. There are other muscles involved, obviously, but these are the main
What about
movers.
what is the latissimus then?
Your latissimus dorsi are these muscles here.
Big one. Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay. they
It's
go
a
all
much
down
bigger
the back.
muscle, and it does a lot of more things.
Oh, okay.
Okay. They pull your latissimus dorsi would elevate and flex your upper back.
Oh, okay. See, my knowledge of the muscle groups is very superficial. So we need you here. We need you more often, but whenever you can, we'd love to have you back. Susan is a personal trainer. She's a group fitness instructor at Complete Body and Spa. If you want to get in touch with her, her credits are up on the screen. Feel free. You can email Susan too at the school, Complete Body and Spa. So it's www.completebody.com. Susan Rasmussen. We are delighted to have you back, Susan.
Thank you.
Before I forget, Sarah Torres to my immediate left. Sarah, I'm so happy. Sarah is practically a yoga addict.
I am.
She had never practiced yoga before she came on the show, and now she loves being here. We love having her here. And whenever she brings Naomi, there's an extra dimension here. We love having you back, Naomi. Are you on school vacation now?
Yes.
Yes. How long for? Is it 2 weeks?
For a week.
For a week? Oh, you'll come back on Friday, right? Your mom will bring you back. Sarah, welcome back to the show. Is there anything you want to add to yesterday to what Susan taught us?
You know, I would like to ask Susan a question. I would like to know, you know how people who jog, they stretch so they don't catch a cramp? So we're already stretching. What can we do to prevent us from getting cramps while we
Well,
stretch?
cramping can
Wonderful
happen for a
question.
number of different reasons. Overuse you know, to make a very complicated physiological thing simple, if you overexercise a muscle, your muscle produces too much lactic acid, and that will cause like a cramping or a soreness in your muscle.
I think I know why she's asking that, but go on.
If you know, and that may or may not be the reason for the cramp. Sometimes it could be lack of sodium.
Right.
It could be lack of potassium. A lot of times, guys who are working in construction crews, because they're sweating so much, if they don't replace their electrolytes,
They're losing all the salt.
their muscles start cramping up on them. So that's why people used to drink things like Gatorade, for example.
Right, it replenishes.
It replaces the electrolytes because they're sweating so much. It's hot and they're doing heavy work. So there are a number of different reasons why muscles cramp. Depending on, you know, the solution to that, it is dependent upon the reason.
Right.
So for each cause, there's a different solution.
This girl had been doing ab workouts one day, and I didn't know, and we were doing chair yoga, and
That
she
sounds-
caught a cramp.
That sounds like overuse.
It scared me. I said, "This is chair yoga. It's
yeah.
gentle." And
Right.
she caught a cramp, and I got worried. And then she told
was
me later.
yeah. She was doing her homework.
That's right. She was prepping herself, and we
Right.
did chair yoga. The new entry you just saw, Talisa, Michela, and the little yogi in the basket, our little Buddha. We love him. Talisa, welcome back to the show.
It's a
Talisa's
pleasure.
been off. You've been off our radar for what, 6 months now?
Like off and on for 3 months, and 3 months is to be straight across the
That's
board.
wonderful. You brought the little guy with
I
you.
did.
Oh, he looks so happy and content. What have you been up to besides taking care of the little guy?
Talking to others, trying to get some more. I think I'm gonna go back into doing some small improv classes just for fun, because I just really miss being
front
in
of
the
the-
scene and doing what I need to be doing properly. I was hidden from it for a while, and to really get back into it, I think improv will be really great for me to get started, to get back on my feet again.
You won't forget to keep coming back here, though.
I will
Don't
not.
get too
I
busy.
just I'm not going to stop doing yoga with you. I enjoy it completely. It's a complete balance to you. So when you constantly keep doing something that's good for your heart, body, and soul, it's a constant, like, your heart feels good and you feel like you need that replacement back in your life.
Right.
So it's just an honor to be here. And it's great that you have Family Day here on the
Oh,
show.
yeah, we're an open show. Your little Buddha's welcome you anytime
He's
with
all
you.
excited to, like, I'm so happy, so content.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
wonderful.
the yoga throughout my pregnancy, it really helped a lot.
Right.
But the whole
She
thing,
continued to practice till you were, what, 6 months?
7 months.
7 months.
I went to the gym until I was
As-
7.5 months still.
Wonderful.
And it really,
It's a great thing.
it's
Yeah.
very beneficial in the long run. It doesn't feel like it is, you know, when you're having your baby, but it's very beneficial.
Definitely.
There's
And it
you know,
makes you
I
feel
have many,
happy.
many, many pregnant girls in classes all the time now.
Right. It's,
know,
it's
and-
wonderful. It makes you feel.
Years ago, they encouraged pregnant women not to exercise, and now it's the opposite, so it's a good thing.
Right. Yeah. Welcome
I
back
think
to the
it's
show.
good though.
Talisa.
It impacts the fetus. Like everything you do during pregnancy impacts the child and just their behavior. Even the crankiness that you have. Like I noticed, I'm not trying to be
He's
exactly.
content and calm because you're
She
calm.
was always calm and content during
Right.
her pregnancy. And I have
Right.
3 children to know that this experiment is true. I was
Quick
different
question.
with each and every one of them, and they are
This girl
different.
mentioned the fetus. Just a quick question, out of curiosity. Was the little guy, baby Alexander, was he born on his head, standing on his head, doing a headstand?
I thought he would be, but
She's taking it seriously.
Thank God, no.
I think, well, that would be crazy, but he actually was, he wasn't even a screamer when he came out. It was just, he was so
Already
calm.
put that out right
Yeah,
there.
he's so
Oh, calm.
Very calm baby.
Wonderful. I know. He looks so happy, the little guy.
Thank you.
Susan, what is your plan for us today? What should we, because I was just going to go through a few more of the seated postures.
I
Do you
think that's a
what-
good plan
Okay.
because, you know, even though you don't know the names of some of the
Yeah,
muscles,
oh yeah.
you know, I've more of a clinical approach to it. and you have a more kind
Yoga
of
type of way, yeah.
open approach to it. But we're colleagues in that everything that you do is been stolen from people in the fitness industry, because it was one of the first kind of fitness
Hold on.
programs.
Did fitness steal from yoga? Or did yoga steal from fitness?
Definitely. Fitness stole from yoga, because
Oh, it's
fitness
the
is
other way.
really, it's kind
It's a
of
very
a
new
new
concept. That's true.
to the extent of what's going on today. It was the 80s started a huge movement. Jack
Right.
LaLanne would have a huge argument with me about that, but because
I love his watch.
he thought he started it in the 60s, and he did.
Who's
but
this singer?
Jack LaLanne.
Who is he?
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
Manu, we
That's
got
how
it.
she doesn't
Pardon
work
my
out.
He
ignorance.
recently
No, I just
yoga.
go to the gym.
You'll have to Google him. I don't have
We're
time.
taping. We're taping.
You'll have to Google him.
Okay.
I don't have
Jack
the time.
LaLanne?
But Jack LaLanne.
LaLanne. Okay. I'll Google it.
In his 80s, he was holding a rope in his teeth, swimming in the Hudson River, towing a tugboat for his birthday.
I've heard of yogis being able to pull a jumbo, and literally I make a joke about that on air, but yogis who find their center of balance, they pull a jumbo with their teeth. Literally the rope is attached to the nose of the jumbo.
What's a jumbo?
Jumbo plane, an aircraft. But you know what? It's not strength. It's about knowing your center of gravity. They find the center of gravity and they're able to move. You look at it in the Guinness Book of Records. Apparently there's somebody who used his yogic, not powers, but just his yogic focus in the center of gravity. So I'm sure all this is very believable. You talk about...
Oh no, he really kind of was the forerunner of modern fitness.
Right.
And as you know, yoga has had a huge rebirth in the last 20 years. There's nobody who's not chic that doesn't do yoga.
Well, I'm going to catch up on the fitness aspect, on the gym aspect of yoga too. Let's all come on we're already seated, so we're going to sit on our heels. We're going through postures. We're taking our viewers through postures, through some seated postures today that may have a counter strengthening move at the gym. So we're going to do a little bit of a back bend. We're sitting on our heels and we're going to go back all the way. If you find this is too intense on your quad, the upper
Quadriceps,
front of
yeah.
the thigh, quadricep muscles, you can bring your knees out. Right now we're going to try seated, and let's face the front left of the mat. So that way we can stagger ourselves. Place your elbows down one at a time behind you. So lower the right elbow, keep your head up till both your elbows are down. Lower the left elbow. And
If
when
anybody's had a knee injury, this is
Good
something
point.
that you really need to be very careful with.
especially when if
puts
you've
a
had
lot
a
of
knee injury,
pressure.
can we bring our knees out to the side, or
No, it's
maybe
just
not even go back?
this whole compression of the knee joint here.
Right.
If you've had an injury or you have any kind of chronic condition, it's not recommended.
Okay, that's a good thing. Good, you
No,
reminded
absolutely,
me of that.
but
So lower both your elbows down. When both the elbows are down, do what Sarah's doing. Tilt your head back. And then once your head goes back, you can make your adjustments. If your knees have parted while you're going down, try to bring your knees together. But to your point, Susan, that's a wonderful reminder. If you've had a knee injury, please be mindful of your body. You don't want to go down all the way. Susan, is there any muscle group that's working out? Feel free to talk. The boom mic will pick us up.
Yes. You're feeling obviously the stretch in your quadriceps.
Yes, the front of the upper thigh.
You're pulling your rib cage forward. You're stretching your stomach muscles. If you're holding yourself, as I am, a little bit up, you're engaging your tush muscles, or your gluteus. All right.
Okay.
When you come up, like I'm doing a modified position here with my hands and not my elbows on the floor because
Right.
I've had some knee issues.
Okay.
I was a gymnast and I had some, but I
That
work
gives
out.
us a workout too. So let's come up, Sarah. Let's come up on our elbows. So you
we
said
not
that
going to
helps
sleep?
us. No, that helps us tighten, strengthen our
Yeah,
gluteals.
if you're pressing your hips forward, your gluteal muscles.
Oh,
are
I
working
see.
very
So they're
hard.
off of the heels. Okay. So when we're sitting, so since we are already up, let's come up all the way. And then we'll do a little bit of a forward fold right here. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go back so we have a little bit of room. Inhale your arms up to shoulder height, palms facing down. Keep inhaling. Take your arms all the way up, palms facing in. Exhale, fold from the hip, the nice straight back.
So you're also engaging your latissimus dorsi, and you're holding yourself back from falling down on your forehead by engaging all those muscles in your back, and they're flexed and stopping you from doing a face plant, basically.
So, if we are very mindful of the muscles in the back of our body, we can come down more gracefully. Okay. So when you talk about latissimus dorsi, that's the big muscle you pointed out earlier
Right.
on, right? Very nice.
Your erector spinae also would be involved in that. The muscles that are on either side of your spine, they run up.
Okay. So what are the spinal extensors? Is that the erector?
That would be a spinal extensor.
Which is in the back?
Yeah.
Okay.
In this position, here's your spine.
Okay.
On either side, you have your erector spinae, which would erect your spine.
Right.
And then your latissimus dorsi here, when that contracts, what would happen? Your chest would come up.
Oh, so
Right?
when we come up, that's what we need to engage.
Right.
Place your palms together, inhale, come up with a straight back.
So if you want to come up with a straight back, then you should be feeling all those muscles in your back shortening as you lift.
Exhale and release. We're going to extend our legs out in front of us. While we're doing that, I do believe I may have forgotten to thank our crew today, Josie and Hurd, Carol Lewis, and George Sertrelis. Extend both your legs out, and then we'll fold one leg in later. Thank you so much for wonderful teamwork and for making this episode happen today. And Richard Swanson, thank you for the studio lights and the sounds. Keep your legs extended out in front, flex your feet. Naomi, how are you doing?
Great.
Still enjoying yourself? Where's your little dolly? You have her? Oh, she's away, not here today. Okay. Now, when we flex our feet, Susan, I wanted to understand this a little better. We're stretching the back of our legs a
Right.
lot more when we flex our feet,
Right.
correct? Can you explain that?
When you pull your toes up, you should feel the muscles in the front of your shin,
Okay. Yeah, I do.
okay? And they're pulling your toes up.
Right. Okay.
As your toes pull up, the muscles that are attached down here, your gastrocnemius into your Achilles
That's
tendon,
one. Okay.
these are all being stretched when the toes pull up.
Right.
One of the really good stretches that we do in the gym a lot is have people put their toes on a stair and press their heel below the level.
I actually watched someone do that at the gym.
And so we're doing basically the same thing here, except we don't have the stair under this.
Right.
That's all. You're pulling it up and it's a little bit more gentle. We're not using the weight of your body to push
out
down
the-
and stretch those calf muscles. But you can feel in this position, if you pull your feet up, Sarah, right? Good. You're going to feel, and keep them pulled up, you feel these muscles here
Yeah.
working really, really hard.
You.
There's an
I can't
injury.
feel my toes.
You can feel it, right?
She says I can't
can't
pull up
pull
my
up her
toes.
toes.
Oh,
You're doing
pull up
great.
hard, hard, hard.
That's it. That's it.
You got it,
Beautiful.
Naomi.
Very nice.
There's actually a muscle that athletes, an injury that athletes get called shin splints, and it's from pounding. If you run on the streets,
Right. The shin gets a lot of weight.
right. So this is actually one of those exercises to help prevent shin splints, to strengthen your shin muscles.
Oh,
You
okay.
can actually put your toes underneath the bureau and try to pull up.
Right, as if you're pulling
So it's
some
like
weight.
an isometric that you're doing.
Wow. Oh, that's a great tip. Now let's exhale and fold from the hip. Exhale and do what Sarah's doing. Take your arms all the way up and fold. I can already feel the back. Now I remember some of those muscle groups you talked about. What's the big one again?
Okay, in the back, we're talking about your erector spinae, your latissimus dorsi. Underneath your arms, you should be feeling some of your rear deltoid here. You're feeling your hamstrings, your calf muscle, your Achilles tendon.
So the whole of the back gets a
Yeah.
beautiful workout.
Big stretch here.
Inhale, place your palms together. Let's come up. Exhale and release. We're going to take you, our viewers, through a posture called pigeon. And pigeon involves taking one leg all the way back and folding the other leg in. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to move this bottle out of the way. Very gracefully as you can, swing your left leg all the way back. fold your right leg in. In fact, it helps my body if I fold my right leg in first and then my left leg goes all the way to the back. Now use your toes. You can curl your toes in to take your knees as far back as you can. And when you have gone as far back as you can for today, try to bring your right foot forward. Now this is where I need Susan's input again. Susan, is it safe to bring the right foot all the way forward? Because some schools do encourage you to bring it all the way to the front.
It's a very personal issue.
But we won't hurt ourselves in
If
any
you don't have an injury, it's not an issue. But depending on your own
body
issues.
Right.
This is not a great position for a knee because you can feel it. Even if you have a healthy knee, you can feel the tension that's going
I
on.
also
in there.
feel a
I
little
noticed
bit.
that my teacher also always used to tell me that you have to engage your toes in order
Flex
to
your
keep,
feet.
to protect your knees.
Right.
And exactly when we were bent back, she also tells me if you used to be a runner, to engage your toes because engaging your toes pull those muscles on top of your knees to help the tension go away, and it helps your knee to get stronger. But that's what my teacher used to tell me. I used to be a runner on the street, so I know that feeling of pain in the knee, and I have to watch it because I'm
Right.
double jointed in all my joints, not just both, everything.
So what you're feeling here now, your right tush and all the muscles on the hip rotators are all being stretched. And if you take your chest and you press forward.
That was the next move. Josiane, our director, doesn't think this posture is complete till we go forward.
Oh, okay.
So this one's for you, Josiane. Exhale and fold.
Now you get a full stretch here and feel all of those
yeah.
muscles being pulled actually around the bones in the hips.
Right,
You're using your skeletal system to stretch these muscles all the way around.
You know, traditionally, Susan, in this posture, we're supposed to tuck the heel into the groin area because the intention was to get a massage for the lower abdominal region.
Right.
But as yoga and exercise and gym exercise started meeting and running on parallel lines, we started bringing the right foot out to the front. Now, Sarah, don't go to sleep on me.
It's a more of a clinical, and there's all kinds of data
Right.
on
Oh,
all
sure.
these different things and the percentage of people who get an injury who do this kind of thing versus those who don't, and so we have to kind of
inhale.
pay attention to
Bring the
all
right
this
foot
new.
forward. Oh yes, I mean, of course, we need to pay attention to all the new research that's been done. Of course, bring the left foot forward. Don't forget, swing the right foot out. We want to work out both sides. You're absolutely right, though, because research is there for a reason. So we want to be mindful of that. But it's also useful to know why if you tuck your heel in, you still get some kind of an internal massage. So other than someone punching us in the gut, here's a way of getting massage. Let's fold over, exhale, and fold. Another thing, Susan, some of the yoga schools that I've trained with, they always say, when we fold from the hip, they say lead with the chest. Is there a physiological reason for that?
It just tries to make you extend more.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's extending and trying to, like for example in Pilates philosophy is that you want to try to lengthen the muscles as long as you can before you do a flex or a
You
stretch.
basically are trying to optimize.
Exactly.
Inhale, press with your palms. Let's come up with a straight back.
One of our yoga teachers always says, lead with your heart.
Oh, that's lovely. Right. Inhale, bring the right foot forward and bring both the soles of both your feet to touch each other in cobbler position. This posture is called by different names. Sometimes it's cobbler, sometimes it's butterfly. But butterfly is when we keep flapping, and in yoga we don't encourage repetitive movement. It's always smooth
Static.
movement. Static. And actually it's supposed to flow. So you can transition. Oh, is the little guy going to join us?
Now he's expressing his lunch until his lap.
Attach the
And
soles
he's very
of both
proud
your
of it.
feet. He looks very he's happy. He knows we're laughing
He's
with
been
him.
talking with us for I don't know how long.
That's right. You could hear his little gurgles, right?
It was hard not to answer.
Hold on to both your feet with your hands and bring your heels closer to the groin area. Now, once your heels are really close, it'll help bring your knees down. Now, Susan, help me understand, is there any problem by trying to bring the knees all the way down? Is that okay?
You know, this is a fairly passive movement. It's not like anything's forcing it down.
Okay.
So
it's all right.
your body's going to protect itself by not going any further than it can.
Right. Right. Okay. So if we cannot bring it down
You press
today, I
them
can
down
put a
as
little
far as you
brick or
can.
something. Right. And just go as far as we can. That's a good point. Right there. So this is where we get a stretch for the pelvic region. I just call it the pelvic region, the inside of the upper thighs.
Right, this is the inside. This is the thing that I made the mistake on before. These are your adductors.
Adductors,
ADD.
ADD,
Okay.
adductors.
You have a lot of those adductors are here, and some of them attach below the knee, and some of them attach above the knee. And depending on where they're attached with, some of them rotate your leg. They do adduction and internal rotation.
Yeah, I've seen people do that at the
So-
gym. Okay.
It's very complicated.
Let's exhale and fold. So press your knees down with your elbows and fold with a straight back.
It's kind of hard to keep my back straight when I'm touching my forehead to my toes.
No, that's till you come down. So
Oh.
you lead with your heart, and when you're all the way down as far deep as you are, you can bring your forehead down. That's true. That's a good point, Sarah. Now, for instance, my forehead will not touch my toes in the next 100 years, so I'm not going to aim for that. Inhale. Let's come up. Exhale and release. We do have some supine postures. We're not going to go supine. I believe the credits are rolling. We've got a couple of minutes. If we are ready, let's do the cow face, because that Susan will have a wonderful explanation. It's a great closing posture for today's episode. Tuck your left heel under the right buttock. Cross the right foot over the left knee. Make sure the soles of both your feet are facing the back of the room. And make sure you don't kick Sarah on one side. That's for me. Now, once you have your knees, if you're able to align both your knees one on top of the other, the way Talisa, Sarah, and Susan is almost there. I'm not quite there, but if you're able to align it one on top of the other, I think you get the deepest stretch. But now I'm going to let Susan help us understand. What are we doing here?
Well, actually, what you're using your own body as resistance for the stretch, which is something that Pilates does all the time.
Right.
And I try to use this a lot in a lot of my group classes. You're using this bottom leg as a resistance and twisting your body. So now you're feeling the stretch across those external hip rotators, your iliotibial band, which is the muscle that runs down the side of your leg. It's a big abductor. And the bottom leg, you're getting a little bit of stretch on that other hip as well, but the top leg is really where you're getting the most stretch.
Right. Yeah, I can actually.
And then I know that
Oh, that's a different one. That's where you keep your knee up. But this one closes with the arm going up. So right knee is up. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, dip your left hand behind the base of your neck. Take your right hand from behind. Clasp the opposite fingers. Go for it, Susan.
Okay, so now, again, here you're feeling the stretch in your anterior deltoid. You're
the
feeling
back of your
big,
shoulders?
No, the front of your
Front
shoulder.
of your shoulder. Anterior. Okay.
Right here. And this is all about flexibility in your shoulders as well.
Right.
Okay? Not just about your muscles. This is about your joint as
Right.
well.
Right. Okay.
Usually, I teach this with a towel because a lot of people can't
Right.
reach this. So if you
Hold on.
use the towel and walk your fingers closer together.
We do that with the yoga belt. That's a great
Right,
reminder.
right.
Those of you who are not able to make that connection today, use props. Use